Hi, welcome to our channel Programming of Mind, where we accelerate your knowledge with concise, from high-value book summaries. Let's begin. The pursuit of contentment, cultivating lasting happiness from within. In a world that often equates happiness with external achievements, possessions, and social status, true contentment can seem elusive. However, lasting happiness is not found in external circumstances, but in the way we choose to respond to life's ups and downs. This section explores the importance of cultivating inner contentment, the art of embracing what is, and how living in alignment with our core values leads to lasting joy. By shifting our focus from the pursuit of fleeting desires to the acceptance and appreciation of the present moment, we can achieve true happiness from within. The illusion of external fulfillment. Many of us are taught from a young age that happiness is something to be attained through success, wealth, relationships, or material possessions. This mindset creates a cycle of constant striving, where the goalposts of happiness are always moving. We believe that once we achieve a certain milestone, we will be happy. However, the truth is that external achievements often bring only temporary satisfaction, leaving us in search of the next goal or possession. True contentment comes from within, not from what we accumulate on the outside. Consider the story of Tom, a man who spent years chasing success. He climbed the corporate ladder, built a large house, and accumulated material wealth. On the surface, it seemed like Tom had it all. Yet, despite his outward success, Tom felt empty and unfulfilled. He often found himself anxious and stressed, constantly worried about maintaining his success and achieving the next goal. One day, Tom realized that the external achievements he had pursued were not bringing him the happiness he had hoped for. In search of deeper fulfillment, he decided to focus on living in the moment, appreciating the simple joys of life, and reconnecting with his core values. By shifting his focus from external validation to internal fulfillment, Tom found a sense of peace and contentment. His story illustrates the illusion of external fulfillment and the importance of finding happiness within. True contentment is not about achieving more. It's about appreciating what we already have and living in alignment with our values. The importance of acceptance. One of the key ingredients to lasting happiness is acceptance. The ability to embrace life as it is, without constantly trying to change or control it. Acceptance does not mean resignation or passivity. Rather, it is the recognition that life is full of uncertainty and imperfection. By accepting what is, we free ourselves from the constant struggle to force things into our desired outcomes. Acceptance allows us to release the need for perfection and to live with greater ease and peace. Take the example of Rachel, a woman who had always been a perfectionist. She was constantly dissatisfied with her work, her relationships, and even her appearance, believing that she had to be perfect in every way. This constant striving for perfection created a sense of frustration and unhappiness. One day, Rachel began to practice acceptance. She learned to embrace her flaws and imperfections, recognizing that they were part of what made her unique. Over time, Rachel found that accepting herself and her circumstances brought her a deep sense of peace. She no longer felt the need to control everything in her life, and as a result, she felt more content and joyful. Rachel's journey illustrates the power of acceptance. By letting go of the need for perfection and embracing life as it is, we can find greater happiness and peace. Acceptance allows us to release the burden of constant striving and to enjoy the present moment, living in alignment with your values. True contentment is found when we live in alignment with our core values. When we make decisions that reflect our deepest beliefs and principles, we create a life that is authentic and fulfilling. Misalignment between our actions and our values can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction, frustration, and confusion. By identifying our values and making them the guiding force in our lives, we can create a sense of purpose and direction that leads to lasting happiness. Consider the story of Olivia, a woman who worked in a high-paying job that didn't align with her values. She had always been focused on achieving financial success, but she soon realized that her work was not fulfilling. Olivia's job required her to compromise her values, and she felt disconnected from her true purpose. After much reflection, Olivia decided to make a change. She left her corporate job and pursued a career in social work, where she could help others and make a meaningful difference. By aligning her work with her values, Olivia found a sense of purpose and fulfillment that she had never experienced before. Olivia's story highlights the importance of living in alignment with our values. When we make choices that reflect who we truly are, we create a life of integrity and purpose. This alignment leads to deeper happiness and satisfaction because we are living authentically, not chasing external expectations or superficial goals. The practice of mindful gratitude. One of the most powerful tools for cultivating contentment is gratitude, the practice of appreciating what we have in the present moment. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, helping us recognize the abundance in our lives. By practicing gratitude regularly, we train our minds to see the positive aspects of life, even during difficult times. Gratitude fosters a sense of abundance, joy, and fulfillment, allowing us to live with greater contentment. Take the example of Jack, a man who had always focused on what he didn't have. He often found himself complaining about his job, his relationships, and his financial situation. However, Jack decided to start a daily gratitude practice. Each morning, he wrote down 3 things he was grateful for. At first, it felt forced, but over time, Jack began to notice the small blessings in his life: the warm cup of coffee, the support of his friends, the beauty of nature. Gradually, Jack's mindset shifted. He felt more appreciative of his life and less focused on what was missing. His daily gratitude practice helped him develop a greater sense of contentment and joy. Jack's experience demonstrates the power of gratitude in cultivating contentment. By regularly practicing gratitude, we train our minds to focus on the good in our lives, leading to greater happiness and fulfillment. The power of letting go. Contentment also comes from letting go of the things we cannot control: the past, the future, and the expectations of others. Often, we hold on to regrets about the past or anxieties about the future, which prevent us from fully experiencing the present moment. Letting go of these mental burdens frees us to live more fully, embracing the present as it is. When we release our attachment to outcomes and accept life's impermanence, we experience a deep sense of peace and contentment. Consider the story of Peter, a man who had spent years holding on to past regrets. He often found himself replaying old mistakes and wishing he could change his past. This fixation on the past kept Peter stuck and unhappy. However, after learning about the power of letting go, Peter began to practice mindfulness and forgiveness. He learned to accept his past without judgment and to focus on the present moment. As he let go of his attachment to the past, Peter experienced a profound shift. He felt lighter, freer, and more at peace. His story illustrates the transformative power of letting go. When we release the past and stop worrying about the future, we open ourselves to the present moment, where true contentment resides. The role of self-awareness in contentment. Self-awareness is a critical element in the pursuit of contentment. When we are self-aware, we can better understand our desires, emotions, and behaviors. This awareness allows us to make intentional choices that align with our values and contribute to our overall well-being. By becoming more attuned to our inner world, we can cultivate a deeper sense of peace and contentment. Consider the example of Emma, a woman who struggled with feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. She often compared herself to others and felt like she wasn't measuring up. However, after working on her self-awareness through journaling and introspection, Emma began to understand the source of her negative thoughts. She realized that her feelings of inadequacy were based on unrealistic expectations and external pressures. With this newfound awareness, Emma was able to release her self-judgment and embrace her true self. She stopped comparing herself to others and began to appreciate her unique qualities, leading to a greater sense of contentment. Emma's journey illustrates the importance of self-awareness in achieving contentment. By understanding our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, we can make conscious choices that lead to greater happiness and fulfillment. Conclusion: contentment as the key to lasting happiness. True contentment is not something we can achieve through external accomplishments or material possessions. It is a state of being that comes from within through acceptance, alignment with our values, mindfulness, gratitude, and letting go of what we cannot control. When we cultivate contentment, we stop chasing after fleeting desires and begin to appreciate the richness of the present moment. Contentment allows us to find joy in the simple pleasures of life and experience a deep sense of peace, no matter our circumstances. It is through the practice of inner contentment that we unlock the secret to lasting happiness. Thank you for listening, and please like the video and subscribe for more great upcoming content that will put you in top 1% people in the world.